Hi, this is Austin from Points Unknown, where we post monthly content on motorcycle maintenance, DIY van life, outdoor pursuits, and travel, all in the name of inspiring adventure. I introduced my first 5 accessories and upgrades for my new Yamaha Tenere 700 in a previous video that provides a brief overview of each item. In this episode, I'm going to go through selection and installation details for real handguards, replacing the fake plastic stuff that came on the bike with something that actually offers some real protection and benefits. Let's get started. Alright, let's start by taking off, well, everything I guess. First step is to remove the old handguards. These are attached at the bar ends via the OEM bar end weights and a shared handlebar clamp with the mirrors, so the mirrors have to come off. Both mirrors can be removed using an open-ended 17mm wrench. However, keep in mind that the right side mirror is reverse thread. Finish removal of the OEM plastic handguards using a 5mm Allen socket to remove the bolt at the bar ends. Unfortunately, you also need to remove the factory bar end weights. I tried to keep them in place and install the handguards, but the configuration of the handguard bars really didn't leave an option for this. I went with the Tusk Aluminum Pro Handguard system, which consists of the aluminum bar that wraps around the handlebar and the handguard itself. I went with white. I don't know, I thought it would complement the logo, you know, the white on the bike itself and the blue. The Tusk Kit came with everything I needed for install, including bar clamps for the T7's tapered 1 1/8" bars and extended hardware and bolts for attaching the bar ends. The clamp kit is stamped with an R and L to let you know which side of the handlebar to install them on. I installed the bar clamps in a U shape so they come from below to attach to the aluminum bars. Based on my experimentation, this configuration worked the best. The OEM handlebars are 1 1/8 inch at the triple clamps and 7/8 inch at the grips. The handlebar clamps connect somewhere in the tapered section, so it's a little awkward. I suggest keeping the clamps nice and loose until the very end so they can slide easily along the handlebar while you are setting everything else up. Tusk Kit for the Tenere 700 comes with this extension piece. It's got this rubber thing on. It's not going to fit on, so you just pop that off. But we're also, because we have the extension kit, we're also going to get rid of these and opt for a longer screw that comes with the spacer kit. So this longer screw has the extension, and longer screws will do that. Perfect. Using the extended bolt and spacer kit from Tusk, install the aluminum handguard bar into the handlebars. As a reminder, the install order is bolt through the handguard bar, then spacer, expansion sleeve, and finally the expansion nut. With the spacer on the handguard bolt, the left side grip can extend beyond the handlebar a little bit, without interference. But on the right side, the throttle tube must be clear of the bar end or you will bind the throttle tube with the handguard. I was pulling my grips off anyway to install heated grips, which I show in a different video that I'll link to, but you can do this with the grips on if necessary, though you will have to cut the grips themselves. I use a Dremel tool with a cutting bit to carefully shave off just the very end of the throttle tube, so it does not extend past the bar end. Again, you can do this with the grips on, but you also have to shave the grips in the process. Perfect! Now you can see the throttle is not outside of the handlebar. With the handguard bar test fit to the end of the handlebar, it's time to see how things line up. Ideally, the angle of the clamp will match the angle of the handguard bar, but as shown here, the handguard bar does not align well with the handlebar clamp. So to fix this condition, I'm going to bend the handguard bar. I'm sure there are many ways to do this, but my preferred method is to load the handguard bar into a vise and pull it forcefully into position. This is also a good test of the integrity of the handguards, and judging by how hard it is to pull these handguards into position, I'd say they're pretty stout. Like I've shown before, I got it nice bent pretty well. Once everything is bent into the right position, you'll know because all the bolts will be lining up well and will be easy to thread on. Another important thing to check is the clearance of the handguard bars from the brake and clutch. This really shouldn't be a problem given the curve of the Tusk Adventure handguards, but if it is, well, that's bad and needs to be fixed with some more creative bending. For me and my shorty adjustable levers, everything looks to be clearing just fine, so I think I'm good to go. You can see the spacer there, right up against the thing, and it's not going to interfere at all with the throttle because the throttle tube is clear, and the grip extends a little bit past it, but because of the spacer, it's not going to be a problem. When I got to this point, it was finally time to tighten everything down. I removed each bolt one by one and applied blue Loctite, just to make sure everything holds together through all the bumps and vibration. Last, it's time to install the plastic hand shields. I tried installing these with a regular Phillips head screwdriver and was having a terrible time, nearly stripping the bolt heads. So I switched to a true JIS number 2 bit and everything got much easier. So I'd highly recommend the use of a JIS bit for this step. Having a JIS bit around is really handy for installs like this. With the hand shields installed and everything tightened down snug, it was time to go for a ride and test it all out. Overall, I'm very pleased with the quality and completeness of the Tusk D-Flex Pro Handguard kit for the Tenere 700. Install was fairly easy, with the application of a little bit of force and elbow grease, and of course the right tools. And I think the installed product looks good and will do an excellent job of protecting my hands and the levers. Thanks for watching this episode of Points Unknown TV. As you know, if you're looking for more how-tos on how I upgraded this Tenere 700, I'd recommend subscribing as I continue to go through my first 5 upgrades and accessories, as well as more future upgrades to the Tenere 700 with adventures to come, including info and how-tos for adjustable shorty levers, heated grips, anti-bobblehead braces, crash bars and bash protection, luggage racks, and more. I'm just getting started. See you on down the trail.